Welcome back, guys, to the channel. In today's episode, we are going to continue our conversation on the tools inside of Resolve. Okay, so last time we spoke about exposure and contrast in the last few episodes, and today we are going to talk about balance. These three nodes are the trifecta, and if you implement these on your grades, you'll see that it will be well on your way to a strong, solid foundation. Okay, with that said, first of all, I want to talk about a disclaimer, I should say, something that I wanted to discuss, is that for many of us, we are taught with this conventional way of neutralizing our channels, our RGB channels, to achieve a natural rendering of our image. And oftentimes, for me personally, it would be looking at parades, okay? We'll look at the R, G, and B, neutralize them, so we make sure that the blacks are black, the grays are gray, or the whites are white in our image. Now, there is nothing wrong with that, and I think it's a pretty solid way to work in Resolve. However, that is not my preferred method, because that doesn't necessarily mean that I am going to get great results or neutral or pleasing skin tones. Maybe neutral, yes, we can get neutral colors. However, it doesn't mean that we're getting pleasing skin tones necessarily, okay? And what I like to work, instead of going by this traditional way of neutralizing our channels, okay, whether that is for me looking at the parades or I would look at the histogram, what I like to do, I keep, when balancing, my scopes to the vector scope. And the tool that we are going to talk about that I use is here the offset. I love the offset. I do have a panel, so I can work very fast with it. It's quick, it's simple, and it's very efficient. Oftentimes, you will see that you have hundreds of clips a day that you need to grade, and what I love about the offset here on the panel, it's very feel-based, okay? And when I grade like that, I like to be on a roll, especially on the first few passes. I like to be quick and jump on the next, and then the next, and then the next. So that's why I love the offset. Now, if you guys are interested in going the traditional way of balancing, okay, where we neutralize colors and we have natural reproduction, what we call natural anyway, you can look at the color playlist here in the channel and you'll find a lesson that goes through that extensively, okay? But my process when grading, my practice now, it's different. I use the offset for the most part. I would say, actually, I use the offset all the time. All right, so let me show you how this works. Now, if we go with the offset, I'm going to use now the mouse over here, okay, just to show you guys. You can see that the image, now I'm purposely going really far with it, it's affected uniformly. So that's one thing with it. If you go with gain, you're going to affect mainly the highs, with lift the lows, and gamma obviously the mids. But here with the offset, you're affecting the image uniformly, and that's what I love about it. So I'm going to reset this, okay, and in this case I'm going to use the panel, guys, but I'm looking here at the vector scope, okay? I don't use this to tell me where to go. I use this to sort of see what I'm doing, really, okay? But my eye is always on the subject, and what's the criteria for me? It's always the skin tones. The criteria for balancing with the offset is always going to be the skin tones. Now, something important, guys, to really say and talk about before we get started is that you don't necessarily have to have natural skin tone, in the sense that I personally, especially when we're working on narrative, which is most of my projects, okay, I always look at the script. I look at what's in the page, okay, because if we're doing a sci-fi movie and it's very monochromatic and there is a strong blue tint all over the image, that does make sense with that specific project. Or maybe a subject is at a bar, maybe there are different situations in which maybe we don't want pleasing skin tones because it doesn't make sense with the story. So you look at the story, and then you look at your skin tones, okay? And then you look at where you want to go really with it. What's the intended, okay? Creative input of the director, the DP are very important, but you always look at skin tones, or at least that's my process, and then I decide where to go from there. Okay, so now let's get started with this clip over here. So now I'm gonna make a full screen so you can see that it's pretty well balanced overall. I don't think there's any problems with that. However, we can do a little bit better in my opinion. So I'm gonna start taking this towards the red zone a little bit more so I can see the before and after. And I'm already liking this much better, so I can back it up maybe a little bit. And you can see, guys, that a little goes a long way with this, okay? And there we go. Look, it's not a huge difference. Perceptually, we can tell that there is something feels different, okay? Even if it's such a small adjustment. You can see also I'm looking at the walls in the back. So the background is being affected. Once again, we're working with our offset. So the image is uniformly being adjusted and balanced, okay? And I like what's happening in the skin tone. That's my focus. If this looks good to me, That is what matters. All right. And I am very happy with this. We can look at a different example and doing basically the same exact thing. We're going to look at this image over here. Nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly balanced. It looks pretty good. I don't think there's any issues with it. However, I just want to make a tiny adjustment over here to something like that. You can see, maybe I went a little bit too far. I can take it back a little bit to something like that. And look at the vector scope. We moved it just a little bit. Remember, we're in color management, so a little goes a long way. But you can see what's happening. Look at the face, okay? Look at here, the skin tones. Look how we are shifting it, okay? To a more, in my opinion, natural and pleasing skin tone. Okay, you can see. And we can do that very easily here with the offset. So guys, please test this out. See how that works for you. And then if maybe this is too much and you don't really like it, then you can go the conventional way of maybe you can use your printer lights or different tools to see what works best for you. But for me, the offset is a lifesaver and it really has saved me so much time. You can see that this is before the after. Let me know guys in the comments if you like content like this, and let me know if you have any other suggestions for up and coming videos. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.